Okay, this is my presentation on defining curriculum. My name is Marguerite Jones. Many of you know me as Beth. That's what I go by. This is for EDS 708, and I am a candidate for EDS and teacher leader. Okay, first of all, I would like to start off with a couple of definitions from the World Wide Web. Merriam-Webster defines curriculum as the courses offered by an educational institution, such as the high school curriculum, or a set of courses constituting an area of specialization, like the engineering curriculum or the biological sciences curriculum, liberal arts curriculum. Dictionary.com defines curriculum as the aggregate of courses of study in a given school, college, university, etc., and the regular or particular course of study in a school, college, etc. So in the state of Alabama, we have several types of curriculum guides for us to guide our students in learning. This is from the Alabama Department of Education website. So there are curriculum guides for all of the subject areas. I teach science in grade 7, so I would select that particular square to go through the curriculum guides. But it's just a set of instructions, a guidance, a basis of what we should be teaching in our classrooms. We also have the Alabama Learning Exchange that houses all of our courses of study. You can see all of the different courses listed there, and again, I teach science, so I would click there and then click on 7th grade science. The course of study for science has recently changed. We had a course of study from 2005 that we were using up until last year. It was very low level learning. It was depth of knowledge 1. All of the bullet points in my course of study and what my students were supposed to learn started with the words like define, identify, explain, which are very low level, like I said, depth of knowledge types of questions and statements. Last year, they revised the course of study, and we put it into practice this year. And our course of study now has a lot more higher level knowledge, construct a model to explain, engage in an argument that backs up the claim. There are some still identifying who did this and how is this possible and what parts of the human body do what. But most of the parts of our new course of study are things that students will need to know, help them to develop problem-solving skills, and it also fosters a lot of collaboration in the classroom, which is a great thing because as students continue, it's very rare that they'll work by themselves, even in college setting. Speaking of the college setting, we also have the Alabama College and Career Readiness Standards. This is what the state of Alabama calls the Common Core. So there are standards for English, language arts, math, science, and social studies. And these are the parts of the curriculum, the standards that the state of Alabama and the United States believes that students need to know in order to succeed in college and their careers, no matter what they decide to do after they graduate high school and move on to the next part of their lives. So when looking at curriculum and defining it, we can look at several things that researchers say. Gloria Ladson-Billings in 2016 defined curriculum as the stuff of schooling. So for example, like school subjects, English, Spanish, geometry, etc. And she also said that it was the connective tissue of co-curricular activities like band, sports, debate team, and also the invisible structures that create the school environment. So these invisible structures are things that are learned by the students, not openly taught by the teachers. It could be, that I live in a safe community because I observe that I have no metal detectors as I walk in school, and I have every piece of technology that I've ever wanted at my fingertips, so my community supports my learning and wants me to succeed. Those are the types of invisible structures that Ladson-Billings is talking about here. So I love the part where she says it's a connective tissue, because I believe that curriculum is connective. It's not just one part over the other. All of them work together to form our curriculum. Also, research says that curriculum can be seen as a means of achieving specific educational goals and activities. So this was said by Xiaowen Su in 2012. Basically, she says that curriculum can be regarded as a checklist of desired outcomes. And she says these things work together like a course of study, a plan or a blueprint, the document that it's actually written on, but also that the curriculum is a program of experiences. Makura and Makura in 2012 believe that there are many definitions associated with the word curriculum, and they say that it can mean many things to many people because it's not just about the content and how we organize our teaching and the subject matter, but it's also about other issues in life, philosophical, psychological, and sociological issues. So they say in their presentation that they believe no school is an island, and each curriculum works together and affects society as a whole. So whenever we develop our curriculum, we should be looking at what society is demanding at that time. So after all of this research and looking at the different things about the state of Alabama, I have a couple of questions about curriculum in general. I believe that curriculum is what we want our students to learn, but we need to think about what do we want our students to learn to be competitive in a global society. Remember that this society is not what we grew up in. It is completely different than when we graduated from high school in most cases. And so the things that we need to teach them are different things than what we learned when we were in school. I also think we need to look at, should we be focused only on content, but also on life skills? Because we are now no longer the keepers of the knowledge as teachers. We are not the sage on the stage anymore. Our students can be just as knowledgeable as us because of their internet access and our Google everything society. So we need to look at how important is the memorization of facts, or should we be teaching our children how to be better problem solvers? So whatever we look at our curriculum, our adopted curriculum should be the basis of what we teach. It's not the end all of what we teach. It should guide us to where we need to go, but we should also be including all sorts of other things in our curriculum that will help our students be competitive. In conclusion, curriculum should not just be set in stone, but it should be fluid. As our society changes, so should our curriculum. And what is typed on a document should not be the only things our students should learn. These are my references that I used for this presentation, and thank you very much for watching.